Hey everyone, this is Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist. In this case, top 3 improvised weapons. Let's start with number 3, the hammer. It is pretty effective, even though like other blunt weapons, it has certain limitations. Basically 3 limitations that you could think of and are common to other weapons such as baseball bats and sticks and such. It depends a lot on the amount of room you have to swing it so as to perform that blunt trauma, gaining momentum. So it is something that may not be as convenient when ranges are much shorter or someone is on top of you struggling and such. You need room so as to wield it effectively. Number 2, it is something that will depend a lot on the strength of the person using it, and we're not equally strong. Some people are weaker than others, smaller frames, maybe because of age, maybe because of some a condition that they have. So strength is going to be depending on how effective this is. And finally, it has to be used with a certain degree of accuracy. If you have an attacker coming at you with his hands up, with his arms up, and you're swinging at him and you're hitting in awkward angles, it's not going to be as effective. It depends on where you're hitting. Softer areas will not be as effective as harder ones. Of course, the skull will be the best place to hit with a hammer, which is going to be pretty much end game for you if you get hit with one of these in the skull. Number 2, and here things get a little bit better, we are talking about the hatchet. If you don't have one of these, and they're still available in most grocery stores, hardware stores, they're all over the place. And the hatchet now is something that's more effective. You have one side for blunt damage, but you also have a blade, which if kept very sharp could be used for slashing as well when spaces are more restricted. With someone struggling with you, when someone is on top of you, hitting you and such, you don't need that much room so as to use the blade, if sharp, to use it effectively. It is also quite intimidating. Hatchets, someone has a hammer, yes, and you recognize this as something that could do quite a bit of damage. You see someone with a hatchet and you're immediately thinking of limbs and fingers being chopped off or this buried in your skull. It is quite frightening, someone with hatchet, and especially the will to use it. So yeah, it is not as fast as other weapons, but it has been used for thousands of years as a weapon, and it is definitely effective. In my opinion, by far number 1, the best improvised weapon people will have in all homes basically is the kitchen knife. 8-inch chef knife. You have a very pointy blade there. If kept sharp, it is light, it can be very fast in hand. Instinctively using it alone will be effective, and if you have a little bit more information so as to how to use it properly, it's even more so. You're talking about a tip that will penetrate well. You're talking about a blade that it's 2 inches wide, creating a serious wound channel when it penetrates. Because of this, because knowing that most people will have one of these in their homes, I put quite a bit of emphasis in my book, almost 20 pages dedicated to the use of a knife for defensive purposes. Some people thought, well, why did you put so much emphasis on it? Because, folks, I basically understand that we're not all the same, and not everyone has a handgun or some other firearm at home. In fact, most people don't have guns in their homes. So we have to understand that we're not all the same. Yet, pretty much everyone will have a chef knife in their house. Pretty much everyone will have a blade of some sort, at least a bigger one in their kitchen drawer. And outside of a actual firearm, it is the most effective improvised weapon you could think of. And we see it all day long being used in the news and different incidents. If there's not guns available, knives are often being used quite a bit, and very effectively so. Knives, they do not run out of ammunition and they don't jam. So basically those are 2 big points towards its favor. Again, intimidating as few other things. People have a natural fear of getting cut, getting stabbed with a knife, especially something like this, something of this size. if you have knowledge on how to use it properly, it's even more so. I'm going to be doing a separate video later on how to use a knife effectively for defense. If it ever, unfortunately, if it ever comes down to that, if you have that knowledge, you will be more capable of defending yourself. So subscribe so as to not miss that video. Finally, a little bonus point. A pen, something that everyone has on their desk and maybe on themselves. You know, something like this. A metal pen. You don't need super fancy tactical pens. A pen like this, made of metal. This is something that you can jam in someone's. This is going to be used mostly for softer targets, softer, fleshier targets, so as to stab and tear there. But yes, by all means, why not? You could use this in combination with some other hand-to-hand skills that you may have, doing some damage with that strong tip there as well. So folks, that's basically it. Remember to subscribe. Take care. See you in our next video. Have a great day.